Crunch time, coming up big when it counts.
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to Crunch Time, where we come up big where it counts. I'm Dom with the great gentlemen, Anthony, Saucy, and Luke. What's happening?
What up? What up? What up?
We're
What
good,
up?
How we going,
Damo,
boys?
We're good.
Good.
Ready for another week of Crunch Time, and we're just going to just dive straight into it. As we had Champions League this week, this will be coming out Saturday, but it was today, and an upset was on the cards, and we're not going to talk about Chelsea this time for freaking 40 minutes like last time,
Thank
right?
God.
We're just
No,
gonna,
we
I'll give
should,
a brief.
though,
I'll give a brief. Chelsea did well today. 2-0. It's comfortable win.
They did.
To
That's
be
all I'm going
That's
to
right.
be
Expected.
That's
Come
right.
on,
It was to be
expected,
expected.
Lukey. You did get the easiest draw.
Expected,
of the
yeah.
teams.
Expected, but still,
That's
we'll
it.
take it.
No more on Chelsea. Good win, Luke. We're happy. But we're going to go straight to the big one. All right. And the big one was PSG beating Bayern Munich at home, in Munich, sorry, 3-2. They kicked 3 away goals. But the story out of it is not the fact that they beat them 3-2. It's the fact in the card market that the one and only Kylian Mbappe scored twice in this game. And, boys, if you want to take it from here, what's happened, as we know, is the most, I don't know, watched player in the market when it comes to anything that he does.
He's the guy. He's the guy
Yeah.
in the soccer market. The
So
guy.
let's give him a
Boy
rundown,
wonder.
gents. What's happened?
Well, all I have to say is, first of all, it was bound to happen. This whole situation was definitely overdue. We already saw this play out, a month ago when he scored the hat-trick. What we're seeing now with Mbappe's price rise is what should have happened alongside Haaland's price rise. I think Haaland, he rose so quick, so fast, and people are baking in all these, he's the next Ronaldo. He's going to, take Dortmund to the Champions League final, all that stuff. But with Mbappe, you got to factor in France, you got to factor in Euro, you got to factor in World Cup, and now he's competing against arguably the best team, the former champions, and he's pretty much knocking them out alongside with PSG. I'm not going to say that they're home and hosed already, because they've got a massive second leg. PSG have been pretty bad at home the last month or so, and Bayern can easily just knock through past them and knock them out. But right now, Mbappe is the most sought after card, I would say, across multiple sports. It probably go LaMelo Ball, Prism, because of the amount of Prism that's being opened, and now Mbappe for sure across all products.
I completely agree. With that.
He's a special kid.
He is. He actually is. And the scary thing is, and we've said it a gazillion times here, based on what he's accomplished in his very, very, very short career, personally, I still think he's extremely undervalued at whatever his price is. Genuinely.
100%.
I think so too.
I'm looking at God. I understand Ronaldo's Ronaldo and Messi's Messi. Yeah, that's fine. I won't put him in that echelon, that tier, just yet, because he hasn't got the Ballon d'Ors. If he had those, that's really all he needs now, to just stack up Ballon d'Ors and
they'll come
And win the Champions
and
League.
a Champions League. That's it.
Yeah.
If
At
he
least
does that,
one.
let's be realistic. Yeah, we're all soccer heads here. If he does that, he wins a couple Ballon d'Ors, wins a couple Champions League. He's eclipsed Messi and Ronaldo based on accomplishments, because he's won a World
Yeah,
Cup.
he's won the World Cup. Yeah.
Yeah, but what happens if he takes France and wins the Euro, and then doubles back next year and contends? Doesn't even have to win, makes the final, or if he wins back-to-back World Cups,
It's over.
What are we talking here? He's gonna be what, 23?
23.
I mean, 24 by that World Cup around then.
24, and he has a shot at 2 back-to-back World Cup.
Just let everyone let that sink in. This guy is 22 years old. Players do not hit the peak of their performance until about 26, right? 26 to 31, there's 5 years there where guys are just at their peak. This guy's 22 and he's, you could say, this is like a peak of another player. So the best of Kylian Mbappe is yet to come. This is what's amazing. The best is yet to come. Like people need to realize this. And
It's scary.
he's the face of Nike, right? He's going to be the new face of Nike going into the future. And think about how that role and that culture plays along with his cards in the future, right? And I heard someone speaking about this. It was Kappa J Cards. He had a take about this. I watched it on Instagram, and it rang true. Exactly what he was saying. About him being the face of Nike and Kylian Mbappe being the next generation. And his accomplishments, like, they're already stacking up. Like, it's just ridiculous, really. It's just ridiculous.
He's definitely taking the reign from Ronaldo and the whole CR7 brand that he has, with all the signature boots and stuff like that at Nike. I think, it does look like Mbappe is going to be the next guy to do that there. The other thing as well, relating it back to cards and stuff like that, it's interesting to see that it's not just his rookie sticker or his first prism or something going up. Like, card always look at his 2018 optic. Even that's starting to move as well. Both base, hollows, for those they're moving. His Topps Chrome 2017 Anth as well, moving. Like, it's all round. It's not just.
I can tell you firsthand experience. I showed it. It was only a couple of weeks ago that Mbappe New Era Silver gone, sold it already.
Jesus.
Someone paid 3 times what I paid.
Wow.
In the space of a month, and that it was so clear as day. Like something like that, where it's Mbappe. And I knew that Mbappe was going to, obviously, he's going to have he's got 3 chances to do something massive. And he's executed on the first one. And we're seeing it across the World Cup, like you said, and 2017 Topps Chrome is going crazy. 2017 Topps Chrome, for me, 2017 Topps Chrome is still so cheap. Undervalued. People are going to come back to that card as being his rookie card. If he ever leaves PSG, that price is going to go.
What are they worth at the moment? If anyone's got a card ladder up somewhere.
The New Era Silver? Which card are you after?
The Mbappe 17 Topps Chrome. I'm pretty sure that the PSA 10 of that goes for about the same as his World Cup. About 1-1. But it could be more now.
There's one that I was looking at. I can find that one in a second. But I was looking at his PSA 10, his World Cup, the silver prism, and I'll anyone who's watching on YouTube, I'll bring up the little overlay so you'll be able to see the graph here. And this is the 1 year graph that we're looking at, and the previous highs were back in August of last year, where it was at 10.2k previous high. Now, there was some sold at around 1,200 back on the 29th of the 3rd. And then, there was a bit of a dip under that. And then, another one sold around 11.85. But now, a few sold back at 10.7 and 10.9. So I'll be interested to see the next one that's sold on the market now with that, especially if they advance in the next round. But that card is now at all-time new highs. It's gone past its previous all-time highs from back in August last year. And it's now cracking new all-time highs. The other one that you spoke about, the 2017, I will find that up right now.
Look at this. I've got it up, and you can put the overlay as well.
The silver?
World Cup? No, just the
base?
The base. So we'll go base for World Cup 2018 and the base for 2017 Champions League. The World Cup was the exact same price as the Topps Chrome. They were both around 800, 850 PSA 10. Since then, World Cup's gone up for 1250 last sold. And that has a pop of 2.5? 2,500.
Total.
No, PSA 10.
PSA 10, all right.
The population on a 2017 Topps Chrome PSA 10 is 507, and that's going for 17.55. So the play, to me, if I'm looking at this, is still that 2017 Topps Chrome.
Yeah, if you're going to buy one, you're better off buying that.
Definitely.
With the pop of only 507, surely that's, More of an iconic
And
card.
and again, it goes back to that's his rookie club card. And if we go just historically, what have been the cards that have sold the most? It's been their rookie club card. It's been Ronaldo in the
it's true.
Sporting Lisbon. It's been
Yeah.
Messi in the Barcelona. I'm dropping gems here.
Like, I mean, with a
Dropping.
pop of
Just
507,
facts.
that's pretty
Because
good.
people just
And even the PSA 9, I mean, the PSA 9 pop on is only 413, bro.
that's
Like,
right.
I mean, so to have a total pop between the 9 and the 10 of under 1,000 on that card, what is it? Does it
Pretty
tell you that
impressive.
people weren't really
That's
grading
crazy.
it? Are they a heap stuck at
People
PSA? Or...
to rip that now, you need to pay 3.2k USD for the box, and the likelihood that you get one base Mbappe probably falls one in every two boxes.
Oh.
Just one.
I think they're not an easy grade as well, are they? The Topps grade.
Topps Chrome that year is a disgustingly hard grade. It's about 50%.
It's a disgusting product
I
as
mean,
well.
I
Just
tell you
personally,
what,
design-wise.
if you were ahead of the curve and you were buying these around in January, you were laughing, picking these up for 150. PSA 9's going for 150.
I want to give a
You could
quick
be
shout out
flipping
Fucking
right
hell.
now
to
for
Steven.
600.
To Steven. So me and Steven were looking at these BGS 95 for $255. I think $250
When was
each.
this? In January?
January,
Yeah.
and he had a few offers.
Yeah.
I mean, he had put out a few offers at 250, and then they'd put 300, whatever, and he didn't close a deal on any of them. And then someone messages him after he scores a hat trick. Good luck trying to find them now, buddy. And he buys all of them up to like 800, 900, and since then they've just gone crazy.
Oh, shit.
Oh man,
It's true.
what was
You were
that
buying
post
up
that you
back.
shared? Like, if you think something's gonna double and you like, is it really that much of a thing?
Yeah,
You could pay
the
extra
10%.
10-15%.
Shout out to Neb. That's something that's very hard to execute on. It's easier
Yeah.
said than done.
100%. I agree with that.
That one post, I wouldn't say that post because I've been doing it for about a couple months now, but that mindset of like, if I buy something a little bit higher than what the market is, I also set the market. So if the latest comp that everyone sees is $50 more than the last comp, it's kind of like raising the floor of the entire market. So I could go in and I can see Mbappe now at 1750, but if I pay 1800, people are more likely to want to only sell at 1800 because sellers are always trying to hold on to their cards and try and get the most out of it, squeeze the juice, and then buyers are always trying to get the least amount to pay for it.
That's something I'm trying to.
It's an interesting.
Sorry.
No, go on.
Yeah, I mean,
I was just saying,
Go on,
something
mate.
I'm trying to work on at the moment is actually like putting that into action, paying, a 5-10% more to get something you really believe in, which I think is a really good move. But yeah, as you're saying, I think it's easier said
I
than
mean,
done,
shout out
and
to
it's definitely
Burbank
something
Cards.
that
I
we
wish they'd
could
have
work
that
on.
mentality when I tried to put in an offer on a Brandon Ingram Optic Hollow PSA 10, and the last sold on the market was at 362, and I offered 400. And then
And they said no.
Oh, they didn't even respond to my offer. They pretty much just didn't even
Yeah, but
respond.
have you seen Burbank Cards on YouTube? They got like
I haven't
something
sussed them
like
recently.
43 million cards in their warehouse.
Yeah, I have
I'll
seen
tell you
that.
what,
I've
ComC
seen a
could
video of the.
take a thing or two of how they organise their cards, because they literally, someone I see wrote a comment that they put in 1,000 card order and they got it organised and shipped within like 2 to 3 days. It was like 1,000 cards of just like all
Who did?
singles and stuff
The fuck?
to finish off their sets and everything.
Who's this? ComC
No,
or
this
Burbank?
is Burbank. If you did that with
Yeah.
ComC, it would take freaking 3 months to get that.
You have to go look at Sasha T's video where he goes to Burbank and they show him at the back, and it's ridiculous.
I swear he's there every day. Every
Yeah,
video I
because
see, he's there.
But let's be
This
honest,
is my-
if
this
you
is my
lived in LA,
mindset.
you would be there every
Hey,
week.
I'd be there too.
I'm telling you,
don't
once
worry.
COVID's done, I'm there. I'm going. I'm taking money and I'm flying over there, and I'm bringing all the heat back to Australia for sure.
Oh,
Because
shit.
think about how easy it would be if you can go to Burbank and they cash you out. Then you go to Melrose, which is what, I don't know how the distances are, but it's in the same kind of area. And then all of a sudden you're using that like arbitrage. Like I can go buy from Burbank and then sell somewhere else at a premium. Plus, I've got trade shows every week. It's crazy.
That's why I see those boys over there doing it as a full-time gig, and I think they could do that. And I sort of like relate to myself. I'm like, I don't think we could do something like that.
Nah, not
We
yet.
couldn't. Not yet. No. Who knows what's gonna happen in the future? But
You need to be
it's
selling
sick.
online.
It's sick. I definitely rate what they're doing it full-time and stuff like that. I
Yeah.
think it's awesome, especially with the content too they make. I reckon big up to them.
And,
Yeah,
and fellas, let's just
big
a
up to
quick
them.
note before we move on to the next segment. On the flip side, you had obviously Haaland and his boys getting done, and by Man City, and Haaland didn't really get a sniff. Oh, he set up the goal. He did set up the assist for the goal, but other than that, he didn't look very damaging or look like he had a chance to really punish City. But they are still in the leg, which is good for them. They've got the away goal, so it's still wide open. So what would happen to his cards, considering the significant rise up that they've had if they get knocked out this
Gone.
next game? And obviously you
think
got to
it'd be-
remember he's not in the Euros and most likely not going to play the
Yeah.
World Cup.
I think he's going to take a big dip if he does go out.
I'm
Just based on
calling
those
I'm
two
calling it
reasons.
right now. Like it'd have to be a 25 to 40% dip. I'll
Fuck,
say it
even
right
that
now.
much.
Yeah, I think
Language, sorry, but
it doesn't make sense.
Don't worry,
Like,
mate. We put the explicit tag on these, mate.
no, but for real, like he's not going to be playing in anything competitive until what? Until when? Next season?
Yeah,
So
pretty
When he
much.
gets traded to City.
Comparing the two, I just see so much more around Mbappe. Yeah, there's a higher pop and stuff like that, but I just see so much more opportunity there with the two.
There is going to be a moment though where the manager of Haaland realizes that all the attention's off Haaland. If you're a good manager, and he's going to start leaking out all these trade rumors that City's about to bid, and then that keeps him in the limelight. That's what he should do. And
Regardless,
That's
though,
different.
regardless though, Haaland and Mbappe, if we're talking about them, like they shouldn't even be in the same breath.
Yeah, I agree.
One's a potential wonder kid, and one is a bona fide gun.
World
They're
Cup
two different
winner.
players as
I
well.
understand
That's
that.
true as well.
I understand that, but I'm going based on what they've done.
Yeah.
And people losing their shit over Haaland, and I go, yeah, I understand. Yeah, he's breaking records and doing what he's doing. But then I just look across the across the bloody country,
Border.
mate. I look over
Across
a
the
border.
border.
Yeah, I look across the border, and then there's this guy who's genuinely top 5 best players in the world.
Don't let Haaland not get a trophy for the next 2 years, because what happens then? I think that prediction that I said, not prediction, but more like comparison to Ibra is going to reign true.
No,
Yeah.
I
that
know
was
it's
spot
so
on.
it's
That
so
was a good
far
call.
fetched.
that was a good call. Legitimately,
People are
a great
not
call.
people are not happy about that.
No, it's a great call. The difference is,
Really?
yeah,
Do you guys some
If he-
flack for that
If
one?
he becomes
Yeah.
half as good as Zlatan,
Far out.
I mean, that's still a very good player, man. If people
but-
want to stand here and say like he's already better than Zlatan, shut the hell up. You know
Mate,
what I'm
he's-
talking about.
Oh, dude, come on.
If his
You can't say
hype,
he's better than
the
Zlatan.
amount of
Come
hype
on.
that he has right now, the amount of hype, if he doesn't surpass Zlatan, he's failed.
well, he's
The
going to
amount
win
of
more.
hype.
He'll end up winning
right now.
more than Zlatan in terms of like Champions League. He'll win one.
Yeah.
Surely he has to win one. Like,
Depends where he
Depends
goes.
where he goes.
surely.
Depends where he
Zlatan was
goes.
playing against like the best
Imagine he
players
goes to
ever.
Chelsea and never went on his life.
You know what the
Yeah,
funny
well,
thing
we're
is?
gonna win it this. We're gonna win it this
You
season,
know what
and
the
he's
funny
not
thing
there.
is,
So
and the funny thing is, he hasn't even thought about Chelsea.
Nah. Let's touch back on Chelsea for like 30 more seconds. Shout out to Splash and Mars. And Lukey both messaged me the second that the game finished, and they go, "Oh, hey bro, you got any Mason Mount cards? Collect Connect." But no, we don't. We're never selling them. But
you got any
I think-
Chelsea?
nah, Mason Mount might be
Nothing.
actually.
I'll tell
he
you,
might
But the-
actually
I'll
be-
tell you what, Dom's
I'm
sister
keeping
pulled in a
some
breakaway
photos.
box before a silver Ziyech, which was a nice.
Oh,
pull.
very nice.
Look
Very
at
nice.
him! Look at him, G up. Hey, you know there's a base Werner in there as well, Lukey. If you
Oh,
want.
is it? Nah, I don't want that one anymore. I'm off.
He's
No,
off
I'm watching-
burner.
I'm watching
He's
him.
off the burner train
I'm
after
off
that
it.
missing.
I've had enough.
out.
I don't know how much more I can take. I don't know how much more I can take.
Yeah, but she
No,
pulled the
but
silver
I
ZX,
think
which is
I
nice.
think
Very nice.
Mason Mount, in all fairness, he might be a play.
He is a play, bro. Like
He's already gone up a
Come
lot,
on,
to be honest.
bro.
I was looking at some
When
stuff today.
when we had Lukey
never
on
look
double
at his
coverage
prices.
podcast, I talked about Mason Mount, and I said he's a good player. I was watching him early games in the season, so I
Can you
mean,
imagine, based on last week's crunch time, can you imagine if the score sheet said, instead of Mason Mount, it said Pulisic? It would have been over this
Well,
morning, bro.
he scored on the weekend.
No, but in
Which was
Champions
In a
League,
loss.
Oh,
but
if he scores
bro, if he
midweek,
scored
it's
this
done.
morning, if
Yeah,
he
it's
scored, it was over.
It's done.
The internet would have broken.
The hobby is over.
My biggest fear is Lukey's prediction comes true, and in some sick, twisted world, it's the
Chelsea.
Champions League final, and Pulisic scores a winning
It's
goal.
gonna happen. It's gonna
Yeah,
happen.
he does a Mario
Nah.
Götze in
Nah.
a World Cup, and he kicks the winning goal.
Yeah.
It'd be
I
over.
will not be
Oh
coming
my
into crunch
God.
time. I won't be on crunch time that week.
We're not
With
he's
running.
boycotting the show. He won't be able to take
I'm
Lukey's.
leaving all group chats.
I'm not gonna be here either. I don't know what I'm gonna be doing, but I'm gonna be over in the States with everyone else.
All right, let's
Going
move
mad.
on. Let's move on. We've stayed on this a very long time. Let's get on to the Topps merger, going public on the stock exchange, which is awesome. Let's touch on some of the licensing. Good pickup by yourself, Ant, in a post that you put out yesterday.
So how
Yesterday.
sneaky was that?
That was very sneaky. It was a very good
Sneak
pickup.
that in their little portfolio, their little briefing thing that they had.
So run it
Um,
back
that
here.
they-
Fill us in.
If you missed it, and if you want to just let everyone, listeners and viewers, know in case they've missed it, what was the pickup out of that? There was heaps of licenses in there,
Yeah.
Disney and Marvel and whatnot.
So basically, Topps put out a investor briefing, kind of like a PowerPoint, so to speak, just outlining their goals, their vision for the future, and their current, acquisitions and licensing partnerships. And you can have a look. They've got a timeline of when they picked up each licensing. Star Wars in 1977, which coincides with the Star Wars cards. These bad boys here. And then, yeah,
He's got him on hand.
Yeah, of course. Then you got WWE in 2005, Bundesliga 2008.
I thought you were going to pull The Rock and then you're going to pull Haaland. No, you're not doing that? Okay.
No, not today. But right at the end there, a couple more noticeable ones. You got Marvel 2018, Disney 2019, Formula One 2020, and then the big one that they've never mentioned it apart from inside this little brief, Euro 2024. And what's interesting about that is Panini has always, as far as I know, had the licensing for the Euros and the World Cups. And for Topps to come in now, and I would assume they likely outbid Panini, that's a big thing. That shows that they know soccer is such a big market that it's worth paying massive amounts to outbid your competitor just to get the licensing. So I was very interested by that. And the other thing I was interested in was I wonder what they do with that licensing. Do they come out with like a Topps Chrome? I would suppose Topps Chrome Euro. But then does this mean that they're going to make a play for a World Cup product? Because Panini doesn't necessarily. They might not have the World Cup license. As far as I know, they haven't mentioned anything about that. I know Euro is definitely Mosaic Panini.
Yeah.
So very interesting. I think Topps are making some big moves.
Well, they got an interesting one that I was thinking about and discussed it with Source was with their Topps now. Oh, sorry, not Topps now. Topps 70 and their Project 2020 from last year. They've got all of these card artists on board doing designs for them, custom designs. It would not surprise me if they move into the echelon of NFTs and one or one of 5 drops by a Tyson Beck and all these other guys.
I was just about to mention.
It would not surprise me in the slightest. It's like, okay, Tyson Beck's created these 10 cards, but he's also got limited to 5 or limited to 50 an NFT version. So
Yeah.
get in first in, best dressed. That's the only way you can get the card. And they start doing that with that. They can start doing it with Disney cards, which would be huge. Marvel, as we know, like Marvel's just TV shows at the moment. Yeah, it's a
Monster.
TV show, but it's all leading up to films again. Once the next phase comes out, it's going to be in people's minds again consistently. Starting from next year onwards, the end of this year onwards, they're just going to be coming out consistently across the board. You got Thor, and then you got Black Widow, and you got all these other Fantastic Fours meant to come out, I think, next year or the year after. Spider-Man, like it's going to be fresh in everyone's mind again. And when you think it's going to die down, oh look, there's another movie, or now the TV show is in between the movie, and it's just going to be consistent. And I think
100%.
drops like that of characters that young kids and kids in their teenage years or early 20s, they can relate to now because it's shaped so much of their childhood. Why would they not want that NFT? All that
I think the NFT side of this is probably one of the more interesting things to me, to be honest, and seeing how they can, move in that space, especially with the licenses they've got and stuff like that. If they play that smart, maybe a bit more smarter than Top Shot, because I think Top Shot, I don't know, personally, from what I've seen, like, what was your Devon Booker out of? Ant?
1,250.
Do you reckon that's a fair bit? Like, imagine they make these really
is.
low-numbered NFTs. I feel like it could be something interesting there. A name like Tops as well, and now the funding of being a public company.
I think you're right there though. There's something about having the licenses that they have lend to, like, I would call it like super fans.
Yeah.
Marvel are like super fanatical. Star Wars,
yeah.
super fanatical. Get rid of the sports for a second. Disney, super. If you've got Marvel, Disney, and Star Wars, they're your three biggest entertainment entities, kind of thing, of the last like 5, 10, 20 years.
Just mentioning. Keep going.
Throw in our favorite, Formula One. Like Formula One are the most fanatical people in terms of like pouring money into something.
It's a niche fan group, but it's not massive, but
it's a wealthy
people are
niche.
fanatical.
Yeah,
exactly, and the people, the demographic of it, for sure.
So like the NFTs that they bring out for those 5 licenses that they've got, they could pull this off. It could be massive.
You know what I was just thinking there? Do you think Tops are playing in not a different league, but a different area to Panini?
Yeah.
Like with all the ones you just mentioned, they're all like entertainment, movie, Marvel, Disney, Star Wars. Do you think they're playing in a separate sort of area to what, or a separate game to what Panini is, focusing mainly on sports? They got their UFC license, so they missed out on F1. They've got their football, basketball, soccer until Euro 2024. We heard that news. Do you think that's sort of what they're doing?
This is going to sound crazy considering how big Panini has been. I think in terms of, say they were both public, I definitely invest in Tops. And I think Tops will eclipse the value of Panini, maybe even if it already hasn't, but it'll take over and keep on going. Because Panini is so specific.
Yeah.
They're not really locking in on their blockchain. They never really promote that enough. It's not really as mainstream as it could be. I know we talked about it, but it's not common knowledge to go buy a 10K blockchain card. And even still, it's not necessarily looked at as like an NFT the same way, or a piece of art the same way as a couple other NFTs are.
Yeah.
But Tops is like, they've got the right licenses for the next 10 years.
I think that if Tops, they start developing these Disney and Marvel and Star Wars cards more, and they start putting more time and effort into that. I'm not saying they don't now, but making them more sought after, more high end versions of these cards. They're gonna be the ones actually set that market trend for collectors, where yourself and like you saw that stuff on Marvel, the old stuff in 91, 92. but they're going to be able to have it so high end potentially for different products coming out that people will start having that mentality that you'll have vintage Spider-Man cards and vintage Iron Man cards and Captain America, and all those wax will go up. And I think they're going to have it and try and create this, I don't know, genre in the hobby where entertainment cards transition exactly the same as a sporting card. What Panini's doing with basketball, football, soccer at the moment, they're going to try and replicate that because they got, as you said, three of the biggest, if not, they're the three best licenses you can possibly have in entertainment on planet Earth at this current point in time.
Without
Disney,
question.
Marvel, and Star Wars. Even though they all fall under the Disney brand, but I completely agree with you. What's been the biggest franchises in the last literally decade and beyond? Like Disney acquired Star Wars, which we've had trilogies and standalone films and TV shows. And then you've got Marvel, consistent movies, TV shows, and then Disney's always releasing an animated film or a Pixar film. And then they've obviously launched Disney Plus. It's a kid-friendly platform. They've got obviously added stuff now, but you know what I mean? Kids will be driven there. They'll see that. If they're into cars, they'll be like, oh, why don't I go collect, I don't know, Pocahontas, or why don't I go collect Lilo and Stitch or Iron Man or anything.
You know what I've got in my head now? You know what I'm thinking of? When's Pokemon going to get in the NFT game? Because...
Don't worry about Pokemon and NFTs.
But
no, it's all over, bro. That's over, bro. Don't worry, bro.
For another pod.
Don't dive into that one.
All over. It's all
You've
over.
got some secrets.
Don't dive into that one.
And on top of that, Pokemon's biggest celebrity influencer and supporter and investor in cards that we've seen all over the place is a YouTuber, has invested in his business.
Has he really? I didn't know
it's
that.
Tokens. That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
He's bought it. He's bought in heavily. So that's all I'm saying. So when there's a Pokemon drop on this platform and there's a custom one by that so-and-so person, it's game over. That's all I'm saying. We've discussed it, Sauce and I.
That's interesting.
We'll drop it. We may have to talk a bit of crypto / NFTs next week.
Sheesh.
Don't worry, Pokemon's there, bro. Don't worry about Pokemon.
I mean, it did cross my mind. Cross my mind.
We might have to have a standalone and do an education session next
seminar.
week. A seminar.
Get the whiteboard out.
A keynote's also be in the background doing flow charts. This connects to this, and if you do this, then bang, this is gonna happen.
I rate it.
But yeah, it's massive. They got great licensing, tops, and I think their future is very, very bright. And people that are investing in them on the stock exchange, I reckon, as you said, Anth, they're going to make, obviously, their stocks are going to go higher because they got good licensing.
I would be careful, but
yeah, of course, obviously.
Off the bat, I think it's going to start very high, as most stocks typically do when they like on an IPO. So don't invest on day one. See where it simmers, and then make your analysis from there.
But I think they got great potential. Great potential.
Oh yeah, I'm team tops.
Yeah, I'm
I'm kidding, Panini. I'm kidding.
There goes all his endorsements that he has.
There goes his brand deal. Just went down the toilet.
Exactly. Easy. All right, let's end on this. We've got no fire off lane this week. We'll keep them to next week. We wanted to have it short and sweet, but as you know, we always get we divert and we just go into a rabbit hole of discussion on certain things. But let's end on this. There was a drop today here in Australia. Saucy just shook his head the whole time and went, been telling you, Dom. I've been telling him.
Tell him, what did you see, Dom? What did you see?
Down.
What did you see on the groups in Facebook after they what did they say?
All I kept saying, all I kept seeing in all these groups was, how did everyone go against the bots this afternoon? How did everyone go against the bots? It was collectors against the bots. Well, I'll tell you what's funny, yeah? A month and a half ago, 2 months ago, people were saying It's not bots. People are just too slow to buy the product. That's why they're losing out. It's a massive influx of people. Now, if you've been listening to Crunch Time, we discussed it on here in like the first episode or the second episode. And if you've been listening to Double Coverage, we've been telling you for months even before that. So Source wasn't smugly saying it because he was a bit disappointed at the fact that people weren't, aware to this. And, well, they were aware to it, but taking it seriously. But he kept saying, I tried to help them. I tried to help.
Well,
so now everyone's aware of it. So Source, you've got the big revelation.
Well, I
in
tried
the
to tell
advancements of bots today.
I tried to warn people that the bots were coming, right? And now we've been lucky. The first few drops that they had some Prism Football and Zing, and they had some Prism Optics last time, some NBA Hoops boxes, and their last few drops, the first drop of Donruss boxes, and so on, right? No bots. Well, there was a bot for the previous drop before this, but the script on the bot wasn't written correctly. They were having issues in trying to change the cart value. So, when you add to cart, it only adds one quantity. Then you got to go into your cart and change that. And they were having trouble getting the bot to make that process. The bot was working. The bot was processing and doing orders, but it was just ordering one at a time. And I was like, yeah, it's only a matter of time until they fix that and it makes it 10. Well, they did fix that. And it now automatically changes the cart to 10. So in the time it takes you to press add to cart, move over, view cart, go there, change that to 10. By the time it takes you to even do that, the bot's already checked out 10 times already. Right?
It's sold out in what, a minute?
It's sold a minute. Dom, I had it all ready to go within 35 seconds, right? 35, 40 seconds max. Not even. It was sold out. The boxes, right?
Less than a minute.
A minute. And I found out I actually got offered slots in the bot. So I could have bought slots. So I could have bought a slot in the bot so that I was pretty much guaranteed to get product. And I was like, I don't really want more Donruss boxes because I already got 10 from last time. So I was like, stuff it, I'll leave it. But I tell you what, it's probably going to be the only way that I'm going to get my hands on some retail Prism or Optic or Select if it comes out.
And what was it? And the funny thing, Source was telling me, like these guys were talking about it. Obviously, the scripting on the code for the bot. And what did they say to you, Source? They wanted to get this done and solid before this product dropped because they want to get ready for Prism.
For Prism, yeah.
Select. Like these people.
Prism's going to be.
This is what we keep saying. These people aren't dumb. Yeah, like that. Now they understand. Like when it comes to sneakers, yeah. They've done this so then they can get like 1,000 raffle tickets, through emails, through a bot. That's how they've done it. So then they have more chance of getting the sneaker. But these people are so savvy and so switched on that they understand what the value of the better brand of the products are. But they understand just in general with cards, it doesn't matter what the product is. Retail is the cheapest form of the product. They understand once it's bought, you can double it on the secondary market literally 10 seconds after you've bought it. So this is the problem. People just took it easy and they didn't take it seriously and they laughed at it and they said, bots, that can't. You got to understand, you're playing against computer code and you're a human. So
you don't win in that one.
Exactly right. And as Source said, they like scripts and algorithms on computers take milliseconds to process and we can take up to 10 seconds. And by the time that 10 seconds happens, mate, you could have lost the product in 10 seconds.
How do you think they get around this?
I just had a point for that. Bring back in-store pre-orders only. 12 o'clock, you have to be at an EB Games.
It's not a bad call.
That's the only. How else can you do it? Does anyone else have an idea?
I like it.
Yeah.
Then we'll see who's keen to get some product.
The only other way that they could possibly do it is do like if they wanted to keep it online, which is do like a similar thing to like Top Shot and have that randomized line.
What about like a raffle?
Yeah,
even?
well, something similar to like.
But
that.
how
But
how hasn't there been an advancement to fix this bot situation?
Because they don't care, Luke. I mean, they don't care, Anth. They literally don't care.
Yeah,
they make their
not
money. They
even
sell the
across
boxes. That's all they care about.
Yeah.
That's all they care about.
Maybe only care about selling this shit.
Across.
Just realize that this is a small fraction of the money, a small portion of the money that the whole of Zing and EB makes over gaming, over all the other stuff they sell.
Of course. They don't really care. But I'm saying even alongside with sneakers, and how have they still got this botting problem? That's what blows my mind.
These people are
Because
smart, bro.
they work night and day to rewrite the code, and don't think that the sneaker guys and all these sneaker websites like Nike and Foot Locker haven't tried stuff. They have, but they just rewrite the code and they alter it, and they're that good, and they have it back up and running, and they try put these workarounds. They try add Cloudflare and these things that stop the throttlings of the bots, and try to detect multiple proxy locations and all this shit. But they're just too good. And not for anything, Zing and EB are probably right down here, low down on the pecking order in actually coming up with a solution. And it doesn't bother them. This is the reality now. Ladies and gentlemen, sorry to say it, but this is the reality. You are fighting bots. You are fighting computers, right? I don't know what's going to happen from here. It's going to be an absolutely interesting time when it comes to Prism Drop. When they potentially drop some hangers or blasters of Prism at Zing, I want to see the bloodbath then.
Well, think about they did change this though, because they went from random releases to then they put limits on stuff. Then they now they do the timer and they tell you what time it's going to drop and stuff like that. So they are making some sort of advances to make it maybe a bit more fairer, even though it's not helping at the moment. The bot situation is a little bit different to what we're talking about though.
Yeah.
With that.
Look,
so I think they are listening. I think
I think what you said though, Luke, is probably right on the money. I want to see people lining up and camping to get these boxes, bro.
I'm taking an extended lunch break if they drop at 12 o'clock. If they drop Prism at EB Games, I'll be at Melbourne Central on my lunch break getting some
I'm
Prism.
serious. I reckon that's the way to go.
There's one thing that I'm disappointed about, in all of this, right, is it's gone the days of, boxes being in store. It's gone. You just don't get that anymore. There's no boxes in store. And there are some that happen to make it to store, but I think it'd be really good if they put it in store, a percentage of their boxes, right, in each store, and made it one per person. And they
I like that.
they made you. I don't know. They took your name, they took your whatever, and they made it one per person. And a good percentage of the stock was in store only, and that's it. It's one per person. So be it
but even I'm trying to think of ways how they fix it. Just make it so you scan a QR code when you go in, when you make a purchase, and that QR code is your entry to getting the one per person. You know what I mean? You can't purchase another one without your phone and to show your QR code saying
they could do it as simple as you must have an EB or Zing card or account, and they record that sale to your account as the one in store, and that's it. It's also, you're not going to also stop people, if someone's got it and makes an account for their mum, and they make their mum walk in there and get one, and you make your brother walk in there and get one, so be it.
But
that's one per person. At the end of the day,
it's gonna. You're getting your mum to go in and buy.
Hey! My mum has an EB Games account. Don't you worry about that. All right. She has an EB Games account, and she doesn't know what the hell EB Games is. So, hey, you got to do what you got to do. With these boxes, you got to do what you got to do. But yeah, I think it's it's an interesting topic, and look, I really hope now people believe me, because it's happening, right? And just wait for the next drop, because there
was no doubt.
This is like their tester, right? This is their tester. Especially if they keep doing it in this model where they count down the timer. Hello, they had monitors on the site before the timer even went off. A minute before, there was monitors telling us the stock levels that are on the site.
I don't think people actually understand how advanced.
A monitor comes in. I've seen it with my own eyes, right? And it said how much stock they've got in the back office, because that's all in the code of the website. And these bots read the code and spit that information out to a human so you can read it. Right?
It's actually funny.
So, ladies and gents, this shit is advanced as hell. I don't think people understand.
I can't wait for the bloodbath on Prism. Are you gonna say
It's
it
not
as well?
it's not even gonna be a bloodbath. It's
I'll
just
be
gonna
getting some.
all
I'll be
bots.
getting a
Bots will
slot.
get-
Don't you
bots
worry.
are
I'll be
getting
paying for a
everything,
slot.
and
getting
everyone
10
else is just gonna
boxes.
be crying like, "Oh, the bot's got everything." It's like, what's gonna happen? Unless you have to be in store. But I think with the in store as well, I think they're not gonna like or they wouldn't want all the traffic because I think there's gonna be
Yeah,
there's gonna be a
especially
fair bit of
with
traffic.
But
yeah,
it
you
might
come
have
to
to
it.
be a limited in-store amount of stock across the board for each store. Yeah,
Yeah.
and then the rest
Oh,
is
you're saying
online.
the stock is going to be in store? I was saying like you go there and pre-order. Like you don't even get it on the spot. Are you saying you get it on the spot?
That's not a bad idea. Yeah, you
Actually,
could do
that's
it
not a
that
bad
way.
idea. You go in, you get
You go in and pre-order.
Bro,
you
that's
go in, you
sick, man. What are you
pre-order.
talking about?
They text you your time that you have to come pick it up. So like, they allocate 5 minutes per person, and then
You have to get there in that. It's like a game. You have to get there in that 5 minutes.
It's
If you're
like
not
a
there
little
in 5
mission.
minutes, that's it.
Bro, can you imagine it wasn't pre-order and you cop on the spot and
Oh,
you walk out
jeez.
there, it's like we're sold out. So you walk out and there's 25 people in the line. You're like, no, who's buying it, man? Who's buying it?
Oh, that's just going to end badly.
Live-
It's going to end
live-
in
that
violence.
That would be
I'll give you
lethal.
2,500. I'll give you 5K. It's like highest bidder. Who's the highest bidder? 10K, you can have it.
You're flipping it on the spot for double what you paid.
I would literally walk out and just be like, oh,
I mean,
showcase.
Yeah.
the hangers
Yeah.
that
How
are
much you
selling
pay?
that go for $20 or $25 at
man.
Walmart are selling for $150 to $200 on the
Wow.
secondary market in America right now. And the product's been out in stores like a week and a half, 2 weeks, not even.
Not even.
Right?
I think it's been a week, hasn't it?
It's just nuts, man. It's just nuts. Like
what product's that for?
Prism
Basketball.
basketball. So, yeah, ladies and gents, the bots have arrived. Let's just say that.
But
Do you reckon-
Slovenia.
Do you reckon they
I mean, I was warned you that many times.
the bots needed one more go before Prism? They're like, all right, AB, can we just do like a second drop of Don Russ just to get it like perfect so Prism we just clean up?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, maybe.
I mean, that worked out perfectly for them because
exactly. They're like, oh, second one.
I mean, I'll find out whether I found out that was the case, and I believe it probably worked. I don't know 100% that it worked, but my feeling is because I didn't actually go follow up with the person and ask, how did your bot go? But from what I've seen with my own eyes and how quick it sold out, there's no way it could have sold out that quick without the bot. Like, I was quick. Yeah, I didn't make one error with those Donruss blaster boxes, right? Not one error. Added, straight, view cart, 10, boom. I've got 3 screens in front of me, yeah? So, like, I'm doing, like, multitasking. I've got the mouse, got everything, right? Put the mouse on fast speed so, like, you can zip around quick on the freaking thing.
And
It's got the
you
multi-speed.
hit none.
And I hit 0. And then it was like, there's only 6 available. I changed my card to 6, hit 0. Then I went back and seen that there was Donruss Optic Fat Packs, and I was like, all right, let me just cop some of those. Like, that's probably a better play at this point in time. So I got the Optic Fat Packs. I'm happy with those. Anyone knows and listen to my podcast on the Slab Talk. I did talk about how I'm investing heavily in 2020 football. NFL football product, Optic and Prism. So, I mean, I hope that Select does do a retail drop because I'll be happy to take some Select stock for sure as well.
Easy.
Easy.
All right, boys. Yeah, it's us against computers. Who would have thought? Hey, so that's pretty much it. Once again, from the 4 of us, we thank you for tuning in. It's been myself, Lukey, and John. It's been crunch time. Coming up big when it counts. And peace out.
Peace out.
Peace.
Cheers.
Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Crunch Time.